Hey, family. This is another episode of the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and I am your host, Shira Renee. If this is your first time listening in, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I pray that you hear something worth holding on to. For those of you who are joining me again, welcome back. The goal of this podcast is to erase the norm and embrace the truth. We all hide behind some kind of mask. So in this space, I want you to feel free to own your scars and see the beauty within. I am a Christian influencer, a mom, an entrepreneur, a content creator, and Jesus Christ is my source in all things. And I believe that with Him, anything is possible. So with that being said, let's jump into today's episode. In order to trust the process, like we talked about in the previous message, you have to learn how to embrace the space. To embrace something is to welcome it with open arms, hold, hug, and accept completely. It's a welcoming and something you take part in. So in the midst of the process, you have to take part in it. We all have heard the famous Bible verse, faith without works is dead. And it indeed says that. James 2:17 reads, in the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. So in order to properly trust the process, you have to work during the process. You will not achieve the dream until you do whatever it is that you need to do. Here's an example. I loved Kobe Bryant. One thing about Kobe, he knew the goal, and that was to be the very best he could be. He also knew that in order for him to get to that place, he had to be the first one there and the last one to leave. He knew that when people took breaks, he had to continue to work and perfect himself so he could reach the finish line. And he accomplished it all because he did the work. Another example that I have for you is a butterfly. Now, the butterfly wasn't born a butterfly, but the goal is to become that. It starts off as a caterpillar and it goes into this cocooning process. And then after the process is finished, it transforms into this beautiful butterfly. It's amazing how the transformation takes place. You can start off one way, and when you're done, you will look totally different. And this is what happens when God gets the final say. You will go into the process looking the way everyone is used to you looking, and then after the process is complete, you will never look like what you've been through. I use the butterfly example because it starts off as a caterpillar crawling on the ground, and then it ends up with wings flying into the air. When God transforms you, you will reach new heights that you were never able to see before and go places you were never able to go. You think higher, you see more, and the image that others see will be beautiful and full of life. In season 1, I talked about the eagle and how we should start to elevate our minds like them. So I'll remix that episode soon. But for those of you who've never heard it, I will list the attributes of an eagle. Eagles are powerful and they are known for their strength. Eagles fly alone at high altitude, so stay away from narrow-minded people and Keep your mind on things that are positive and speak positive, because your words in your circle can affect your mindset. Eagles have vision. No matter the obstacle, the eagle will not move his focus from its prey until he captures it. So keep your eyes on the prize. Every day is a chance to get it right. Eagles are fearless and never surrender to the size or the strength of its prey. So no matter what the size of your problem is, do not give up. Instead, face it, because failure is not an option. And eagles never eat dead things. So do not rely on the past successes. Keep looking for new frontiers and opportunities to conquer. They say birds of a feather flock together, so instead of being amongst the birds, go out and get you some eagles. Do the work as you endure the wait and trust the process. Elevate your mindset and watch how beautiful your transformation will be. Proverbs 3:5-6 reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." Trusting the process involves surrendering our own understanding and leaning on God's guidance. Leaning on God's guidance and surrendering to him requires the same kind of faith we put into Google Maps. So y'all know that I take the bus, and before I started using the bus, I had to put my location of where I wanted to go from where I was, and trust in the fact that this transit app that I downloaded would show me the exact route I needed to take. Now, this same method applies to God, except he already knows where you're going. And if you make the decision to get on this journey with him, he will make sure you arrive to your destination. Now, this isn't a beauty mark for the week, but this is an exercise. Philippians 4:6-7 read, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." Now, I want you to take the rest of this week and think about where you want to go. Make your requests known to God and listen for the instruction. And even if you don't like the answer that you get back, embrace the space. And know that he has nothing but the best waiting for you. What you want may not be what he has in store, and that's okay. Just know, if it's not then that means he has something way better, and it will be worth the wait. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and I need you to remember, you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You are not here by accident. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram and on Facebook at the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and follow me on TikTok at Cheryl Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine.